Are you feeling weighed down by habits, relationships, emotional baggage, or even physical things that no longer serve you, but you find it incredibly hard to let them go? In today's video, I'm going to share with you the secrets to freeing yourself from the past so that you can move forward unencumbered. We're going to uncover the practical steps to let go of what is holding you back and unlock your true potential. If you're tired of feeling stuck and want to break free, stay tuned. Now, if you've watched me here on YouTube before, then welcome back. But if you are new to my channel, then welcome. I'm Dr. Kim Foster and I'm an MD turned coach and wellness expert. In this video, I'm going to talk about three main things. One is how to identify what no longer serves you. Two is the emotional challenges of letting go and how to overcome them. And three, I'm going to give you some practical strategies to release the old and make space for the new. Are you ready? Let's get into it. So step number one is to identify what no longer serves you. Before we can let go of what no longer serves us, we first need to pinpoint exactly what those things are. Now, this might seem obvious, but it can be surprisingly challenging. So let's break it down. First, let's talk about the signs that you want to look for. So these are the indicators that something in your life is just no longer working for you. So here are some common signs. One is constant stress. If something consistently causes you stress or anxiety, it's worth evaluating. Two is a lack of joy. If you're not finding joy or fulfillment in something that you once enjoyed, it might be time to let it go. And three is feeling stuck. If you feel like you're not progressing or growing, it could be because you're holding on to something that is keeping you in place. Several years ago, I was holding on to my career in medicine and it was draining my energy and passion. Despite knowing it wasn't right for me anymore, I really struggled to let it go because of the fear of the unknown. But once I took that leap and let go, I discovered a new path that was far more fulfilling. And if you are interested in learning more about my story, then I recently uploaded a video about the whole journey, and I will link that video just up above, and you can watch that next if you like. But in the meantime, I want to help you figure out what you need to let go of, and I think it's helpful to consider the different types of clutter that we accumulate in our lives, because it's not just physical items, it's emotional baggage and toxic relationships too. So let's break down the three main categories. So first, there's physical clutter, of course, and these are just the items in your home or your workspace that you no longer use or need. They take up space and they can cause mental clutter as well. Second is emotional baggage. These are the unresolved feelings and grudges and past experiences that weigh you down. They can manifest as things like guilt, regret, or resentment. It can also be a past identity or some story that you have about who you are and what you're capable of. As Brené Brown said, let go of who you think you're supposed to be, embrace who you are. Finally, the third category is toxic relationships. These are relationships that drain your energy, make you feel bad about yourself, or hold you back. It could be a friendship or a romantic relationship or even a relationship with a family member. Now let's do a quick self-reflection exercise. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. I want you to just make three columns: physical, emotional, and relationships. Under each column, write down anything that comes to mind that might no longer be serving you. In the physical column, list items in your home or your office that you just don't use or need. In the emotional column, write down any feelings or past experiences that you're holding onto that might be holding you back. And then in the relationships column, just jot down any relationships that feel toxic or draining. Remember, this is just the first step. It's okay if you feel overwhelmed or if you're not sure about everything that's on your list. The goal is to start becoming aware of what might be holding you back. Awareness is the first step towards change. Okay, so once you've identified what might no longer be serving you, we are ready to move on. So in the next section, we're going to dive into why it's so hard to let these things go and how we can start to overcome those challenges. Stay with me, we're just getting started. So now that we have identified what no longer serves us, let's talk about why letting go can be so incredibly hard. And this is step number two: dealing with the emotional challenge of letting go. So letting go isn't just about physically removing things or distancing ourselves from people. It's a deeply emotional process. The truth is, our brains are wired to seek comfort and familiarity. Even when something is no longer serving us, it can feel safer to hold on than to face the unknown. Fear of change is a powerful force. We're often afraid of what might happen if we let go, what will fill the void, and will we regret it? As Eckhart Tolle said, sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. So let's address some common excuses and limiting beliefs that keep us stuck. How many times have you looked at something that you are holding on to and told yourself, well, I might need this someday? Or if it's a relationship, you tell yourself, well, they might change if I just give it more time. So we create these narratives to justify our reluctance to let go. But the truth is, holding on to these things often causes more harm than good. We end up investing our energy in things that drain us instead of uplifting us. So how do we overcome this? Well, it starts with reframing our mindset. Instead of viewing letting go as a loss, we need to see it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what positive change could come from releasing this burden? How might my life be improved? By focusing on the potential benefits, we can start to shift our perspective. So let's try a quick exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your life without the thing that you are struggling to let go of. Picture the space it creates and the weight lifted off your shoulders and the new opportunities that could arise. How does it feel? Use this visualization to remind yourself of the positive impact of letting go. Remember, letting go is a process. It's okay to take small steps. Start with something manageable and then gradually work your way up to bigger changes. The important thing is to keep moving forward and to be kind to yourself along the way. You're not alone in this journey, and every step that you take is a step towards a more fulfilling and liberated life. And I want to mention that if you do want some more help with reframing your mindset and doing this inner work, then I invite you to download my workbook called Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. You can grab it for free by just clicking the link in the description below. Okay, so now that we have identified what no longer serves us and we've discussed the emotional challenges of letting go, it is time to get practical. In this segment, I'm going to share some actionable strategies that you can start implementing today to let go of the old and make space for the new. First, let's talk about decluttering your physical space. So physical clutter can have a significant impact on our mental well-being. Here are some steps that you can take. One is start small. Begin with just one area at a time, maybe your desk, a closet, or a single drawer. Don't try to tackle everything all at once. Two is use the 3-box method. Find 3 boxes and label them keep, donate, and trash. As you go through your items, just place them in the appropriate box. If you haven't used something in the past year, consider if you do really need it. Number 3 is set a timer. Sometimes the thought of decluttering can be completely overwhelming. So set a timer for 15 to 30 minutes and just focus on decluttering just for that period. You will be surprised at how much you can accomplish. Okay, next up, let's address toxic relationships. These can be particularly challenging to let go of, but it's essential for your well-being. I want to share a personal story about a friendship that I had to let go of. Early on, this friend and I had a lot of fun together, but over time, I noticed that our time together was becoming increasingly draining. She had a lot of needs for validation, for attention, and for drama. It seemed like every time we hung out, I was left feeling exhausted. I tried having a few candid conversations with her about how I was feeling, and I hoped that by addressing the issues, things might change. Unfortunately, nothing really improved. Her neediness and the constant drama persisted, and I found myself dreading our time together rather than looking forward to it. Realizing that this friendship was no longer serving me, I made a conscious decision to just gradually limit the time that I spent with her. It wasn't easy, but I knew that it was necessary for my own well-being. I started by politely declining invitations and making more time for activities and people that uplifted me. Eventually, we just allowed ourselves to drift apart naturally. It was a tough decision, but letting go of that friendship opened up space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships in my life. It reminded me that sometimes we have to make difficult choices to protect our own energy and well-being. And that's okay. It's a vital part of our personal growth. So if this resonates, Here are some tips for letting go of relationships. Step 1 is identify the relationships in your life that it's time to release. Think about your interactions. Are there people who consistently drain your energy or make you feel bad about yourself? Write down their names and specific behaviors that impact you negatively. Step 2 is set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries with these people. This could mean limiting your time with them or avoiding certain topics of conversation. Step 3 is gradually distance. If cutting ties completely isn't an option, gradually distance yourself. Spend more time with positive influences and less with those who drain you. Step 4 is seek support. If you need it, don't hesitate to seek support from a therapist or a counselor to help you to navigate these challenging relationships. Okay, so finally, let's talk about overcoming emotional baggage. And the trickiest of these is limiting beliefs. So these are the mental blocks that hold us back. A few years ago, I worked with a coaching client who was deeply stuck in her job. She had those golden handcuffs, a high-paying, prestigious position that she felt she just couldn't leave, even though it was making her miserable. She just couldn't envision her life without this career, despite the toll that it was taking on her health and her happiness. So when we started working together, she was just completely overwhelmed with fear and uncertainty about the future. She knew that she needed a change, but couldn't imagine just walking away from the financial security and the identity that her job provided. So we began by exploring what she truly valued and what brought joy outside of her career. And one of the key turning points was when she was able to let go of the limiting belief that her worth was tied to her job title and salary. We worked on building her confidence and visualizing a fulfilling life beyond her current role. She started to see the possibilities that lay ahead rather than just the risks. Ultimately, she was able to let go of her job and step into a new career path that brought her much more satisfaction and joy. So here's how you can address your own limiting beliefs. Step 1 is identify and write down any beliefs that might be holding you back. For example, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed, or I can't change. Step 2 is challenge these beliefs. Ask yourself, is this belief true? What evidence do I have to support it? Often you'll find that these beliefs are not based on facts. Step 3 is create new positive beliefs to replace the old ones. For example, I am capable, or I can achieve my goals, or I am worthy of success. Step 4 is use daily affirmations and visualization techniques to reinforce these new beliefs. Picture yourself succeeding and living the life that you desire. Remember what Deepak Chopra said in the Book of Secrets. In the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself. My final take-home message for you is that letting go is not about losing something, but about gaining the freedom to embrace new possibilities and discover your true potential. Thank you so much for watching. If you're ready for the next step, don't forget to download my free workbook called Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life, which will help to walk you through the steps that you need to take to start to understand how your mind works and how to start to level up to a more empowered story about what is possible for you. Now it's your turn. Do you have a story about letting go and finding new opportunities? Share it in the comments below. I would love to hear about your experiences and the positive changes that you've made. And if you enjoyed this video, I think that you are going to love the video that I am going to link above my head, which is all about how to reinvent your life, including my 6-step process for completely making over your life. I will see you there. This is early in the morning, and so my voice is not yet quite warmed up, but we're gonna do what we can do. As Eckhart Tolle said, and nobody knows how to pronounce Eckhart Tolle's name, apparently. Some people say Tolle, some people say Toll. Anyway, okay, there we go, all good.